Hey guys, tonight will be my first actual night of shooting with this Celestron RASA 8-inch telescope. I've paired this with an excellent camera, the ZWO ASI 294 MC Pro camera, and the two of these will be working together tonight to shoot the Andromeda Galaxy. Alright, I got everything set up. The rig is polar aligned and I have everything turned on and ready to go. I'm just waiting for Andromeda to become in view from my backyard. It is right above my neighbor's house right now, just past some trees actually. But once it becomes in view, then I'm going to start taking some subs. That shouldn't be until about 12 o'clock or so. So I plan to be shooting from 12 till about 3 o'clock in the morning. Some of the challenges that I think I'm going to have tonight are battling the 95% illuminated moon. It's going to be right overhead for the whole night, but I am going to be pointing in opposite directions, so hopefully it's not too much of an issue. I did order a light pollution filter that fits the 8-inch RASA here, but that is not showing up until Monday, and unfortunately today is Friday. That's not going to help. So I guess now is as good as any time to talk about my rig and what I'm using. Let's start from the actual astrograph. I'm using the Celestron RASA 8-inch telescope, and this allows me to shoot at f2.0, which is super fast. It also has a 400mm field of view, which is going to be perfect for the Andromeda Galaxy. At the back here I have a Celestron motorized focuser, which has been a huge upgrade, and I'm super happy that I got this. I was a bit hesitant at this at first because I was like, I could just focus it myself, but it's shown some really good benefits. First off, it doesn't wobble at all when you're changing focus. Your image stays right in view. The micro adjustments are super fine, and you can really get fine-tuned on stars and objects and everything else. And lastly, it allows me to control it remote, which is awesome. Next is the camera that I'm using, which I did talk about at the beginning. It is the ZWO ASI 294 MC Pro camera, which is a mouthful to say, but it is a great camera and it is a perfect setup for this telescope. I've shot with this camera before with my Celestron 6SE telescope, and the images look great, so I'm super excited to see what happens on this telescope with that camera. To get this whole system to work, I had to also get the Starzona filter tray, which allows me to swap in 2-inch filters between the camera and the telescope. And the thing that powers this entire rig, and which is what I think is one of the most important parts of this telescope rig, is the Pegasus pocket power box that I have attached up top. This feeds power to all the devices that you see, including the mount, the cameras, the focuser, and a few other things. Oh, I also forgot that there's also the mini PC that the Pegasus unit sits on top of, and that is the brains of the whole operation. That runs my capture software, as well as my guiding software if I'm using that. Though I don't plan on using guiding tonight, because I don't have a guide scope attached to this rig yet. I just plan on using polar alignment alone and some small exposures, so about 30-second exposures. That should be good enough on this object, well, let's just start there. Alright, so it's about 3 o'clock in the morning, and dew has accumulated on basically everything, except for my telescope, which is great. That means the dew shield that I bought works. I expect it to, but glad to see that no dew was accumulated on any of the optics. I was able to get 2 hours of data, and it looks like some clouds are rolling in, and the weather has changed a bit, so I might have to shoot the Andromeda Galaxy another night. Nonetheless, I'm still gonna capture some dark frames and some light frames just in case I don't have another opportunity on this object, but I do want to spend a bit more time pointing at this section of the sky another time. Tomorrow looks pretty promising. It looks like we might not have any clouds at all, so fingers crossed. Anyways, I'm gonna call it quits for tonight, and yeah, we'll leave it at that. Hey guys, so it's been a few nights since you last saw me, and unfortunately I didn't have another chance on the weekend to get exposures on the Andromeda Galaxy. Thankfully today is Monday, which means the light pollution filter that I ordered and actually showed up today, which is awesome. What's even more amazing is I have clear skies even after purchasing Astro gear, which is a rarity in itself. I reviewed the data that I captured over the weekend, and it looks like the 20-second exposures that I was doing was a bit too much on the Andromeda Galaxy. The center core was really blown out, and it seems like I was suffering a lot from the light pollution that I was getting from the moon, as well as the city lights around me. So to fix that, tonight I plan on using the Celestron light pollution filter, as well as lowering my exposure time to 15 seconds, just to see if I can pull out a bit more detail in that center core. Anyways, this object is not going to be in my view again until 12 o'clock or so I'm going to get set up around 11:30, and we'll see you guys then. I had to wait for Andromeda, so I decided to take a quick look at the moon, and here's what I got. So here we are guys, and as you can see, the trees are still in the way of my shot, but Andromeda Galaxy is starting to poke out. It is that bright one just above the crosshairs. Once the trees are out of the way, I'm gonna get this in perfect view, and then I'll start taking my subs. Again, I'm gonna be taking 15-second exposures tonight at an ISO of 120 unity gain. Actually, I just realized I didn't get proper focus, so I'm gonna quickly go to a star and get perfect focus, and then come back to the Andromeda Galaxy. Okay, so we're getting a better focus by using the FWHM measurement tool in SharpCap. Alright, I'm just framing up the Andromeda Galaxy. I want it to be right in the middle of the crosshairs. And there we go. So let's remove the crosshairs and take some longer exposures to see what this is going to look like. Nice. So you can see Andromeda Galaxy very nicely there. Alright, so I usually like to use SharpCap to get my objects in frame, but to do my actual imaging session, I use the Astrophotography tool. Okay, so I have Andromeda here in view. Doesn't look like much right now, but if you do apply a histogram stretch, you can easily see a very bright object in the middle and some wispy clouds around here. This is the Andromeda Galaxy. There's also another galaxy here, and I think here as well. Nonetheless, that is Andromeda, and it is framed perfectly at 400 millimeters. And yeah, hopefully tonight is a good night and I capture amazing data on the Andromeda Galaxy.